Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dead Realm Season 3, Episode 17, not 16. I am your humble DM, Tyler, and with me is majority of the group. Joseph will not be joining us again. He has been in a moving process, so you will not see him in some time. Hopefully, he'll be here for the next session, which is in our time in 2 weeks, because at the time of recording, it is the week before Thanksgiving, and we will not be live streaming on Thanksgiving because it's Thanksgiving. But needless to say, welcome back. All of you, after getting some guidance from Villani, traveled into the Orc Outlands up north to find a rune of purification needed to create a magical staff that will hopefully end the curse that has fallen upon the Gulf of Azeran. You guys traveled for a bit, encountered some new variety of zombies with hardened skin like stone. You then encountered an orc who tossed a javelin at you to tell you to leave, and sensing the hostility, left him. You guys then came across some wanderers in the orc clans, and through conversation, you know that not only did you get proper direction for where the giant lands are, but you've also been notified of some cannibalistic orcs and a ogre that is just known as the Skinwalker. You guys travel north, avoided an ambush from set cannibals. You guys then went to the town of. You guys went to the town of Uda, and through the cleverness of Tim, were able to not be found by the other orcs and continue northward. And last we had it, both Lavina and Dalvin were sitting at the carriage up front with Tim in the cart due to, hostilities between orcs and giants. As you guys approach the giant gate, you notice that not only are these 10 to 12 foot giants are guarding the gate, but you do also recognize some dwarves that are also guarding the gate alongside them. And you guys are approaching this gate.
As we kind of approach, Lavina's gonna nudge Dalvin. She goes, "I'm gonna leave her talking up to you, buddy. They don't need to know who I am." And she's gonna pull up her hood and hide her ears.
All right. As the carriage draws closer, you want to say something, Dalvin?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. As the carriage comes closer, the dwarves give you a hand signal to stop, and he speaks to you in Dwarvish, saying, "Stop right there! Stop right there!" And do you stop the carriage?
Yes.
All right, you stop the carriage, and he walks over to you, and he says, "My, I haven't seen a dwarf, an outsider dwarf, for quite some time. Do you hail from the southern region of the Gulf?"
That I do. You could tell by my tan skin versus your obviously paler alternative up here, northern brother. Put it here.
All right. He gives you a manly handshake gesture a la Predator. And he then says to you, "Man, how's everything going down there? They haven't got you pushing stone lately, have they?"
No, most of the capital fell down, but we were able to save a lot of people, and we're rebuilding the city as we speak.
"Oh, that's good. That's good, brother. So what brings you all the way up here? Long travel it must have taken you."
Yes, well, we traveled with a giant friend who we are here to bury.
A giant. Very well then. If you are do you know where exactly you are going?
No.
Well, what did your friend look like?
Are any of the giant guards look like FIFA?
No, they don't. They look more humanoid in comparison to Fifi. Look with human skin more than stone skin.
FIFA was more of a stone giant. Had stonish skin.
A stone giant then. That's deeper into the mountain. None of us have gone deeper in the mountain for quite some time since the hordes came up from the middle of the mountain. I'd be surprised if there's any giant village left surviving in there.
Well, he would still want us to check. So, if it's all right with you guys, we still will. That's where we're going.
That is fine by me. Now, is it just you and your human friend, or is there more of you?
By human, they mean Lavina, who's covered.
Yeah.
Let's see. So that means Jess in the back and the orcs in the back. Yeah,
Well,
just my companion and I.
okay. He then says, very well. Well, I do need to let you know that, well, let me explain how these lands work. I'm assuming you haven't been up here.
Oh, before you do that, I'm gonna grab the what was it? The liquor we got from the other dwarf. I'm gonna pass it to him. Pretty sure you haven't had anything from the south in a while.
No, I have not. And he takes it. He says, this will be good with my supper later. He pockets it. And he then says, well, let me tell you how it works. So how the giant lands work is that there are these long passages that'll take you to several different cities. Well, we used to take you to different cities. If you need to stop by and get a good rest, I recommend going to Glimhale. It is the first city you'll encounter. Besides that, there are several paths leading up to it. Some have been barred because the hordes are cluttered and festered all around the area. That and the inside of the mountain is not as sturdy as it used to. Poses a danger. Not unless you're a giant that could walk around great leaps. But if you're looking for a friend, I think most likely you would find the village of Fia deeper in the mountains. It's about 2 days' travel inside the mountains. But I'm sure you could navigate through the mountains, my dwarven friend.
Oh, of course. But these hordes, how dangerous are they?
Very dangerous. There's a lot of them. They overfill towns. Surprisingly enough, they even took down giants. And I don't know if giants could turn into zombies or not, but quite frankly, I don't want to know.
All right, I think we might have to leave our carriage at some city then, if we're gonna get past these hordes.
Well, once again, you can always go to Glimhale. I believe they still have staples there that you could probably rest if you have coin.
I appreciate that.
Of course, and safe travels, my dwarven friend. And then he turns around and he yells out in giant some language that you don't understand. And the giants give a nod, and then they just push the gates open.
I'm gonna head back to the carriage and then wait for the gates to open and just trot on through.
Alright, you trot on through. After some time of you passing, and as the door closes, the dwarf then says, oh wait, before I forget, make sure you have a light sword. And then the gate closes. And it is pitch black.
Lavina's gonna cast Create Light
Alright.
and attach it to her staff.
You do so, and now the path before you is now lit.
You know, I almost thought he said light sword until it got really dark.
Yeah. I didn't know what he said. I just know, while I could kind of sort of see in the dark, the rest of you probably can't.
Yeah,
But you
I
did.
mean,
I don't know what you guys said back there, but good job. She pats you on the back.
appreciate it. But we gotta head deep into the mountains to get to where FIFA is from. That's about 2 days' ride, and it's a big ass horde of monsters in the way.
We'll be fine.
No, we're likely gonna have to ditch the horse, which means you're gonna be out. So we're not fine.
We can hold our own, even so. We'll just take the horse for as long as we can. And we'll just keep our eyes out.
Tangi will then say, is there a way where we can cover Tim up so that way he doesn't stand out?
I don't know. Don't you guys have like a spell or something for that?
I don't have a spell for that.
I don't have a spell for that, Tangi says.
Dalvin looks at Lavina.
No, don't. I might, but not. I don't have one that's ready. Y'all have to give me some time to figure out how to do that. She's like, there
See?
is one out there, but I'm gonna need time.
Well, we got 2 days ride. At the minimum. We could always take time in these towns.
Okay.
I don't think we just. I don't even know what this horde is comprised of. I mean, we got to figure this out. We can't just go in there blind. Especially if it's as dark as this.
All right. You guys, with the create light spell, move the carriage forward. The horses are a little bit scared, but you are able to muster up their courage a bit as you guys continue traveling. It's just one path that goes down for a bit, and after about 45 minutes or so, you do see like a bunch of torches, lit up torches further ahead that seem to be standing on the sides of the path. Giant sized torches, may I add you. And there are two paths. One that leads left that just says Glimhale, that points leftward. And then there's another path that points rightward. However, whatever town scripture is on there, it's just overwritten with the words "Do not enter," and then you see that entrance to the right is completely blocked off. Seems like purposely based on your expert as a mason, Dalvin.
Whew. Well, only one spot to go. I still don't see what, like, I want to know, like, are we dealing with, like, giant monsters up here?
Do you want to find out?
I want to be informed before we travel 2 days further into the mountain. Especially since at some point we're not going to run into any more people.
Are we 2 days out from Glimhaven? Is that where we're trying to go?
No, we're 2 days out from Fifai's apparent hometown, which is deeper into the mountains.
Why don't we go to the town, Glimhaven, and get information on what's out here before we start delving deeper into unknown territory? Maybe they might have a map, even if it's old.
That's fair, but I mean, from what the guard said, no one's gone to a certain point in the mountains, and we got to go past that to reach Fifai's home. So I'm saying at some point, we're going to be the ones who are going to make the map.
All right.
Well, that's fine then. If we have to tread new territory, then we have to tread new territory. I mean, I don't think it would hurt to stop and get our bearings in this new land for a minute in a town. But whether we get a map or not, we at some point will come across territory that's uncharted, and we have to accept that.
Yeah, which is fine. One step at a time. So let's just head over to Glimhaven first.
I think that's wise.
All right. You guys begin to travel more down to Glimhaven. As you begin to travel, you do see that the path kind of leads up to, it's not just a straight path. You got to go under and then over and all this other stuff and the works and what have you. But most of the path is litly torched, both by regular sized torches and giant sized torches. And as you guys spend about a half day's worth traveling, you do notice that there are paths that are clearly meant for giants and paths that are clearly meant for regular sized folks like yourself. And there's these large open areas, and you kind of wonder, like, dang, like, is it just from the path that the giants created as they were just navigating through the mountain, or is it like carved from the dwarves? And you recognize, Dalvin, that it's kind of a mixture of both, being a dwarf. And you kind of admire like the craftsmanship it takes to carve like a path inside the mountain, working alongside with giants.
I know none of you guys are going to appreciate this, but it's some fine craftsmanship we're walking amongst.
And at this point, as you continue further throughout the course of the day, you approach a very large open cavern where there is clearly a city. And in comparison to most of the cities you've been, the closest thing being to Elderwood, this is like a fully underground city, both of dwarven and giant construction. You do see that there's a large outer perimeter wall that is circling around this town, but you're seeing it from a top point of view, and you're like, dang, that's like a lot. And you see some giants walking in and out of the town, some being big as 10 foot, some even being bigger to the point where like they have to create a whole entrance for these size of giants. And you're kind of wondering like, how do they fit in the city? As you spend the next 20 minutes going down, you do have some time before eventually reaching to the gates of Glimhaven, excuse me. The floor is yours.
This carriage was not built for long-term travel. The cushion I am sitting on is as flat as my ass, and I would like to get up and stretch now. I'm so glad the gates are inside.
All right. Carriage stops. Lavina stretches.
I mean, we could just walk alongside it. Let's just walk the rest of the way then.
Yeah, I don't think we're in that much danger here. These people seem nice.
Tangi then says, but Tim, how are we gonna hide you though? From what I've heard, that giants and orcs don't like getting along with one another.
Fair.
Yeah,
Then
I
maybe you
guess I
should
gotta
hide.
get back in.
Look, somebody's got to keep an eye on Tangy anyways. Tangy's so small, he might get crushed. There's so many giants here.
Well, like I think that if the plan is to leave the carriage at the town and go to Feedvice home by foot, like how is Tim gonna navigate through the city?
I either need a disguise or I just need to hide the entire time.
How about we just rope up his hands and pretend that he's being subdued by us?
Could say that he's bounty. Are you okay with that, Tim? And then once we get in town, we can find you some clothes.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Let's do
I
that.
don't know.
Tangi then says, but what if they just take him prisoner?
Yeah, I was about to say that. I don't know I guess the government up here.
Does anyone here? Did any of you guys did FIFA mention that maybe once in the past? Do you remember?
I don't know if that's something to roll or not.
Make a history check. Excuse me. Intellect check.
Just gotta find a d20. That's a d12, because of course it is at this time. There you are. All that for a 10.
It's enough. You recall like during small talk along the travel routes, and you and Fufi discussing each other and comparing each other's cultures. That he did mention once or twice that orcs and giants didn't necessarily get along because of land disputes, and like they have a hatred towards one another.
Yeah, but would that hatred allow them to respect us for having a prisoner, or would they just, in their bloodlust, want to take that prisoner from us?
All you know from like having those conversations, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, Ethan, but like orcs and giants do not get along, and that they've been fighting over territory for many years. So when it comes to like war times and stuff like that, one side doesn't trust the other.
So it's probably a bad idea.
most likely.
All right, then I guess we won't do that.
All right, well, let's just you hide in the carriage, and then we'll walk this one out for now.
That sounds good.
Tangy looks upset and says, I'm sorry, Tim. I wish you could come out and see the city with us."
Me too, but I have to accept that's not how it is.
I don't think it's worth your life.
Me
It's not
neither.
worth your life, but I will do my best to find the magic we're needing in the city.
I appreciate it. If you could get me some local grub, I've never had giant food for obvious reasons. I'd just like to try some.
Of course. We'll feed you, don't worry.
Thanks.
All right. After 30 minutes, so you arrive at the gate. Surprisingly, it is open, but it is guarded by two armed giant soldiers. But they seem to allow you to pass. They don't do no thorough inspections or anything else like that. But you guys are able to enter the town. I can place a new playlist for you guys to play along if you wish. In comparison to the vibes, for lack of a better term, of the places that you have visited before, you see that this town is probably the most normal town you've been to. There's a lot of activity going on. Street urchins of all sizes try to sell goods. There are other places that, seem to like, selling smaller goods or trading services and what have you. And the homes are a mixture of both giant and dwarvish homes. You see that most of the inner city architect is from dwarves mostly, but as far as population is concerned, despite it having a lot of dwarves and giants, there's a couple of humans amidst this area as well. Surprisingly, whether that's just from refuge or for other reasons, you aren't too sure. But there's a lot of bustling activity going on. There seems to also be occasionally some. I'm trying to think of the word. There's occasionally a small protest, and judging from the feel of the protest, it seems like they're protesting over some disputes of some goods, but Dalvin's the only one that can really listen in, since it's a mixture of dwarvish and giant. And most of them, to you, Dalvin, you get a sense that most of them are about economic hardships over certain services, such as armor making and what have you. And those similar types of trades, smithing, masonry, that type of thing. Stuff that you're normally accustomed to from your culture. Not only that, but after doing some small talk with some of the locals, you recognize that this town is not only just a regular town. This town is a gambling town, and that there is a gambling house somewhere within the city, along with all the other services.
This town is a gambling town. What the heck is going? You think they do fighting here? I'm getting excited. We should go find this place.
Maybe we should find Tim some. Wait, we should. Do we still have the carriage and everything with us, or are we just
Yes,
walking?
you
through
still
the
have the
streets
carriage with you as you speak.
Okay. As we're walking down the street, do we spot any immediate clothing shops?
You do see a tailor shop nearby as you approach. It is called the Big Stitch.
How about we get Tim some clothes, store the carriage, and go find your fighting ring, and we can get information on them. Because we don't want to leave him and Tangy all cooped up in there forever.
No, of course I understand, but I mean, what better in a fighting pit than an orc?
The fact that there are a bunch of giants around here, maybe? And were your
I don't
voice?
know. It's not just giants, though. That's the crazy thing. If it was just giants and dwarves, I would agree with you. But I see humans here too. Who knows? Maybe we might get away with it.
Lavina's gonna take another look around. Does it look like there's anybody who might be using like a disguise self spell, like who might be hiding the fact that they're an orc in the city?
Make a
Just in her
perception
immediate-
check.
Her immediate surroundings. Oh, nat 1. So it would be a 4. I want to use a fate die.
Okay.
Thank you.
I never use it.
Okay.
Fate die for Tim. Fate die for Tim.
Fuck me. It'd be a 10.
You do not see anyone wearing any disguises. Most of the people here are either dwarf size or like large size, like at least 10, ranging from 10 feet to 20 feet to even 25 feet. The size difference is so big that you are not really paying attention to what you are seeing as far as, say, anyone purposely wearing a disguise or what have you.
We might. Tim is pretty tall. I think if we just find something to disguise the tusks, we might be fine.
Yeah, how do you disguise tusks, though? Like a
Face
mask?
Yeah. We'll make it look like, I don't know.
He's
he's
sick?
mute. I don't know, yeah, or he's sick.
As you guys are talking, you hear like a light pushing on your carriage, but it's more like weight is being added to the back of your carriage like every so often. And when you guys turn around, you just see a large giant behind you. And he says, "Excuse me, can you move your carriage? I'm trying to walk." He's like standing
Sorry about
20 feet
that.
high. He says, "What?"
Jeez. He starts. Kevin just moves. just,
Okay.
just
As he steps by you, you feel like small tremors in his footsteps.
I mean, dude, would they even be able to? No, I guess if they would be able to notice an orc, even as tall as they are. Yeah, never mind. Let's just go.
All right, so you guys going to the big stitch, or are you gonna continue trying to find this gambling area?
Big Stitch.
Gotcha. Who's entering
And a
it?
mask. Somebody needs to mind the cart, so...
Dalvin is.
All right, Lavina, I'm assuming you're the one that's going in.
Wait, is Delvin going in, or is Delvin minding the cart?
Dalvin's going in.
All right,
Okay,
Tangy will
yeah,
watch the cart.
Okay.
Tim, how are you feeling during all this? You know, you just feel a light, like, pushing motion at the back of the cart. You feel like you're gonna get squished a bit.
I mean, I don't get motion sick that much, so that's not really a worry. I just hope they figure something out. Like, I heard a whisper, I heard something about a mask. I think I might be able to pull that off. Maybe I can say I'm like a war veteran or something. I've got some ugly scar on my face, and I wear the mask so people don't see how ugly I am or something. Like, maybe there's something there. I don't know.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no. This is like obviously not the best outcome, but I'm glad I hear they're working towards a solution for me.
All right. As Dalvin and Lavina go towards the door to the big stitch, you see that this door is actually 3 doors in one. There's a door size for a giant, a door size for a dwarf, and a door size for a regular person.
This is... Why don't we just have universal doors? Lavina says as she walks through the human-sized one.
All right, you walk through the human-sized one.
Dalvin also walks through the human-sized one.
Okay. You both walk in, and you see that this place is... It's not cramped. I would say it's about 15 feet wide, but it is tall, like at least covering 50 feet tall. And it's just a wide selection of vertical shelving of different types of clothings and materials and what have you. There's ladders or like a lack of like pulley systems that would take you to like different shelves, and you'd see behind the counter that is comically human sized, you see a very tall 15-foot woman with a long ponytail braid at the back, stitching what seems like to be some clothing. And in comparison to most giants, she looks more human, like a giant-sized human, more than anything. She turns around and sees you two. She goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Welcome to the Big Stitch. My name is Netheria. How can I help you? Are you looking for some nice clothing? Are you looking for something fancy to wear, or just basic clothing for your everyday needs?"
We we are heading up a little further north after here in a few days, and we're looking for some like warm headgear, maybe some face masks, because we're both from the south, so we're not used to the cold.
I see that. I see you have a southern dwarf with you.
Aw, thank you.
So, so you're trying to like, what do you mean by going more north exactly? Like in the mountains or inside the mountains? Because there's a different type of clothing you can wear for both occasions.
Lavina's gonna look at Dalvin, who's been taking the
Well-
lead with directions.
We're going inside the mountain. We are going to bury our friend who was a stone giant. So we're
I see.
going to track the mountains to that village.
What type of clothing are you two wearing right now?
Dalvin,
Lavina's just in like this is the same outfit she's been wearing since day one of waking up in the cave. Like the only changes is like her skirt is like all of the layers are let down, and like she's like maybe taken one and like wrap one around her arms as like a thin shawl. But for the most part, she's like in her same like standard adventuring gear.
Okay.
Not really prepped for winter.
Okay. And what about you, Dalvin?
Dalvin just sort of has like his breastplate armor. Doesn't really have sleeves on. He just kind of has like this ram cloak over him to keep him warm in the colder mountains. But that's about it. Like,
Dalvin have pants?
You could get pants, Dalvin.
yes, I have pants. I also do have pants.
Sorry, I just had to make that distinction.
She looks at you with study and she says, "Oh, good. Well, you two definitely need new clothes. Seems like those have been worn out for quite some time. I could give you longer sleeve clothing, perhaps, and maybe if you're going back outside, I could make something that is useful in a way that it could be warm for more colder weather and more warmer weather too."
I would like that, yes. But also, we would need stuff that we could still move in and fight.
Oh,
I don't wanna rip
that
your
won't be in
clothes.
trouble, sweetheart.
And Dalvin starts flexing.
Ooh, seems like you
Could
do
we-
have big muscles for a dwarf.
Thank
Could
you.
we also get would Tangi want clothes? Would we need to get 2 extra sets?
Tangi is wearing like bronze plate armor equivalents right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we can add a fur lining to his armor. We can bring it in and probably see if she can make adjustments. I'll be right back, and I'm gonna go ask Tangi to take his armor off.
Okay. He says, "Weird, but okay." So he gives you the armor. He has some undergarments under, so.
Well, I mean, we gotta adjust it for the weather, so I'm gonna see if they can put it with some like fur inside of it or something, keep you warm.
Okay. Just make sure they have some undergarments that match mine.
I'm not gonna study your armor garments to remember that.
Well, no, armor is just armor. Like, I do have stuff underneath this. I'm just asking that you get the right ones for my size.
Yeah, got it. We'll do.
All right.
And Dalvin heads back in.
All right. You head back in with Tangi's armor.
Could you also fit this set for the weather? This armor set.
Oh, that's really easy. That's something I could definitely do. Alright, so now I know that you two need clothes for sure, and it seems like you got a third friend in the carriage there who's watching you that also needs it. Do you have anyone else that might need some clothes as well?
Yes, our giant friend that we are burying. we could use a new set of clothes for him as well, for his to go honor his gravesite to bring to his family.
Fair enough. I can make some clothing for him. Now, how tall was he? And using my finger as a scale, and she gestured her finger. How tall was he or she, compared to you all?
Question for the DM: how tall is Tim?
It's tall as Tim. He's like about solid 6'7", I would say. Right now, Tim's
Hold up.
left for a quick. He'll be right back though. So, but you know Tim's height. He's like a tall 6-footer.
Our giant friend was 12 feet tall.
Oh,
Ugh,
well, I could definitely make something out of that. That should be
make it
easy.
work.
All right. Well,
Dalvin puts his hand behind his back and just motions the snipping hand, like his scissor hands, to Lavina while she's talking.
Lavina, by the way,
It's like,
did not
just
say
do
that
it
Tim bit out loud.
ourselves.
That was above too.
Of course. Yeah, she goes, let's see here. And it's weird. It's like she's not really like getting pieces of clothing. It's more like grabbing like different pieces of fabric of a variety of colors and materials. And she's getting them by grabbing like off the shelves on the sides. Not the clothing, but necessarily the stuff above it, like grabbing different materials, from metals for the plate armor to padded stuff, all this other lot. She goes, very well. She takes it all.
Lavina's gonna
And
lean down to Dalvin really quick and whisper in his ear, "Do we have the money for this?"
I actually have no idea. I have 16 gold myself, so I don't mind if I have to use it all.
I got like maybe 15. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
okay, so it's weird because all of a sudden she brings these fabrics and she puts them in different piles, and you know some of the colors that would have been like brighter colors that you're wearing, Lavina, she just takes it and like she's crushing it as if she's crushing it. She stitches some together and then she makes a cup in her hands. And keep in mind, she's a giant, so like this is like all fits in the palm of her hand. She says some weird incantation. You see a magical effect glow in her hands, and as she does, all of a sudden a brighter color version of your clothes, similar to what you're wearing, is created right before you, like in an instant.
Whoa.
There's a new kind of magic. I have not seen that.
This, my dear, is Giant's magic. Giant magic is created by runes that our people scribed. These runes hold power. And with the rune I have, I can make simple creations such as these. Clothing is not a problem here at the Big Stitch. And since I know that I'm based on the card that you're travelers, I figured it is wise to just use my runes to make the job more faster.
Are there more runes into the mountains?
There are. Only the giants know the secrets of it.
You guys don't share that with the dwarves?
We do share some that would assist the dwarves in menial tasks, really, but nothing major such as the magic that I just presented.
Anything to stop the end of the world?
Excuse me?
Dalvin.
What? No, sorry.
I'm sorry. I think I heard to prevent the end of the world. What do you mean by that exactly?
The hordes. I mean, we're traveling into the mountains. We're gonna go up against the horde. I'm kind of preparing for that.
Make a charisma.
Do you know what kind of...
Go ahead.
dang it.
Finish your sentence first off.
I was gonna ask, do you know what kind of monsters the horde is? But... Oh, it's a 17. Nice.
Okay. You're able to give her the slip a bit. Continue.
We don't know what kind of monsters the horde exactly comprise of. Are they like spiders, giant spiders? Anything spider-like. Hopefully something not spiders.
Maybe spiders, I don't know. But no one has traveled deep beneath the caves in several years since the hordes came in and disrupted the path. Um, there's rumors of giant-sized zombies, but I've never encountered one or heard stories like that. It's just stories until, you actually see one. But nonetheless,
You don't hear about giant zombies and think the end of the world is coming?
no,
I have
because
to explain that?
well, we do set up precautions, and your people and my people are smart enough to recognize that they just shut off and close off areas in a safe manner so that giant-sized monstrosities can't come out. I mean, we dealt with dragons back in ancient times. Dragons were an issue a long time ago, but all we did was just close off, and eventually dragons just couldn't escape and just starved to death.
I feel like we have to... Waiting it out, I just feel like there has to be something to be done proactively.
Oh, I understand. But let's talk less about that. But let's talk about these creations. And it seems like the whole time while you were talking, she just instantly created all the clothing needed that you guys needed. It says, well, for all this, and it looks like pristine clothing. It says, for all this would cost you about 40 gold.
One moment, and then he puts his whole pouch of 16 gold on the counter. He says, "Put your whole thing. I'm gonna go see what our friends in the cart have."
Okay. Lumia's gonna put down her little.
We're gonna win it back. We're gonna win it back. We're gonna win it back.
We need. It's at the end of the day. This is a very helpful expenditure of money. Fine.
And Delvin bows and then heads back to the cart to try to grab 10 more gold from somebody.
I'm assuming Tangy has the 10 gold. So I'm assuming Tangy has that.
While
I have
Dalvin's
4 gold for the record.
Ooh, I'm gonna
So-
try and. Sorry.
So I'm assuming Tangy has the 10 gold, so we'll just roll with it. Yeah, so Dalvin, you come back with the 10 gold.
He puts that also on the counter, and then with Lavina's 15, that should cover it.
All right. She accepts all the gold happily. Says, "Well, I do hope this new fit will serve you well. If you do need to change them, I do have a fitting room right over here." And she points to like a small area where it says fitting room, male, female, and it's at different sizes: dwarf sizes, human sizes, and giant sizes.
Dalvin will go change in the dwarf-sized fitting room.
Okay. Yeah. So Dalvin, when you put on the new gear, it's like, wow, this is like fresh, pristine. That new clothes smell. It's really nice, and it actually fits very comfortable. And actually, makes you look more like a badass.
Oh, man. Oh, it feels good. I'm tired of that ram fur. Well, stinking up with all that blood. Couldn't clean that off.
Yeah, and Lavina, you put on your clothes, and wow, they get like the type of outfit you were wearing was, very neat that you recall before it got dirtied over the course of time and combat and all this other stuff. And now, this actually feels like it's a very beautiful outfit, clearly designed, meant for your needs and for your style.
Nice.
Says, well, if you do need any other clothing, or if you know someone that needs clothing, just tell them to speak with Netheria of the Big Stitch.
Syria, before we leave, do you have any local recommendation spots to eat? Somewhere to stay, maybe?
She says, well, I would rather recommend you going to the wolf spider's den. Don't worry, there isn't any spiders over there. She laughs chuckily as towards you, Dalvin. She then continues by saying, over there you'll find some comfortable arrangements, along with some decent food. Just be aware that giants also go there as well, so do pay close attention to them if you're nearby them, because we don't want you to accidentally get stepped on or what have you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you
But
very much.
do you know where the gambling house is?
The place is called the Big Gamble. It's a large circular domish type of structure with bright lights. You can't miss it. It's right in the middle of town.
Perfect. As for my calculations, we as a group have 1 gold left. So we gotta go.
She says, well, good luck. I hope you turn a profit at the gambling house.
Thank you. I'm just gonna gather the others' clothes and
All right.
go out to the court.
Tangi's colors are, it's not necessarily new equipment, but the color in Tangi's outfit is brighter than it once was. The bronze armor is really glistening as if it was fresh new bronze armor, and the red capes and garments that he's wearing along with the accent oranges really stand out and makes it really bright. And then you got the 12-foot giant-sized clothing.
Yeah, Lavina's gonna tap Tim on the shoulder. She's gonna climb into the cart. She goes, Tim. So, obviously, we couldn't let her know who we were getting clothes for. So these clothes are fit for our old friend V5. But don't worry, we can cut it to your size, and I'll sew up the edges. I still have that sewing kit from your mother's house, Tangi. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
Well, thanks for looking out for me, Lavinia. I appreciate it.
Dalvin also did a lot of talking and helping us out. So not just me. We're all in it together. But here's some clothes to hide you. We found a good place to eat, and we're gonna go win all of our money back at the gambling house.
That sounds like a plan.
All right. You guys travel a bit more inward of the city. You see a bit more of the protests coming from the giants too. You can't really understand them, but then you see the dwarves beneath them talking about them in dwarvish. And Dalvin, you understand that there's a lot of economic issues because some of the tradesmen are not getting much work because there's just less demand for it, but then they're getting taxed as high as the other ones that are in demand. So they're just basically saying to cut the taxes down or even no taxes at all.
Taxes should be based upon your income, not just a flat rate. I agree with this.
You guys begin traveling down, and you see
Dalvin stops and joins the protest.
Okay, you join the protest. As you do so, you see other dwarves and giants that are part of the other guilds that aren't affected by this, and there's a mixture of giant and dwarvish, but most of it they're just both slinging at one another. They'll be like, listen, we all should get paid taxed equally. It's what's fair, that type of stuff. And it's getting to the point where it might actually become violent.
Is there a bottle of liquor somewhere on a cloth?
Oh no.
You do see an empty bottle, but that's all you really see. Just that and normal debris you would find in a city.
Oh, I already gave away my liquor in there. I should have kept it. It was right there.
But at this point, the giants of both groups are getting in each other's face, nose to nose, really yelling and screaming at each other in giant.
All right, Dalvin does not want to pull out his pickaxe. I don't think death is what this is needed. Is there a great club or something around that he can wield instead, a baseball bat or or something of the sort?
Make a perception check. What is Lavina doing during all this?
Oh my god, panicking, watching Dalvin looking to incite chaos.
Tangi is joining you in set panic.
Yeah, no,
16.
I don't speak giant.
16. You're looking around trying to find a club weapon, You do notice that like one of the giant guardsmen has like a heavy club to the side as he's sipping some drink. But it's giant size though.
No, no, that just sounds like. No, I'm strong enough. What are we talking about?
You could try anything you wish, my man. All you have to do is pray that you roll good on the dice.
Dalvin tries to go grab it.
All right, just make a power check for me.
So glad I got that +5.
I can just visualize Lavina like holding her head, watching Dalvin like in a panic, and like the carriage windows like slit open. Tim and Tangy's eyes are just peeking out. We're all just staring in abject horror.
22.
Oh God!
Yeah, you know, it takes a lot of strength. You're like, holy shit, this is heavy, but I'm wielding a giant-sized club. What do you do with it?
I try to be intimidating with it. I mean, I'm a dwarf wielding a giant-sized club. At some point, some people got to stop and just watch and just calm down.
All right.
So Dalvin's just gonna kind of walk intimidatingly with this whole big thing, ready to just like smash it into the ground because I don't think I can swing it anywhere else.
What, do you say anything?
No, I just kind of scream.
Make a charisma check with advantage.
17 again.
17. All right. You are able to have enough strength to slam it down onto the ground, catching the attention of both sides along with the guardsmen. And luckily enough, the guardsman didn't roll high enough to know that it was missing. He thinks it probably fell. And you see that the guardsman sees like this fight, and you see he's speaking in giant and dwarves. He says, "Hey, no fighting in streets. There's enough fighting going on, and we don't want to stop another fight between you lot. So calm down, or everyone gets to jail." And then he says the same thing in giant, and then in common.
I feel badass, but I want to keep the club. I just, I guess I'm just gonna keep walking. If he stops me, he stops me, and I'll just give it back. But I'm gonna just walk since he didn't notice me to begin with.
All right.
Back to the group.
Yep, you walk back to the group and you carry on your way.
Yes.
That's sick. That's awesome. All right. You guys continue traveling, and you eventually see the large tavern known as the Wolf Spider's Den. It is a large-scale size type of tavern, kind of like as tall as like, you know, one of those strip mall buildings, but it's very wide. It's clearly meant for a giant occupation, but luckily there's a regular sized door and a dwarf sized door as well. As you stop by, and you see other carts and carriages of a variety of sizes as well that are kind of like hitched to the side of the building.
Does it look particularly busy? Like, does it look well established?
It does look like it's well established.
Well, it looks like it's a popular enough spot. Should be a nice place to stay once we get some money.
For sure. I just gotta find somewhere to put this club now that I have it. I didn't really think this one through.
Store it in the carriage.
It's a giant club.
Put it on top. We'll strap it on. And Tim's got clothes now. Tim can come out and help.
Dalvin tries to like softly place it on top of the carriage without breaking it.
Okay. You safely put it on top of the carriage without breaking it, but it does add some weight to the carriage, you know, because it's a giant-sized great club.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the everything will be all right. We won't be in there long. All right, but we have one goal, so we kind of have to strike right the first time before we can take risks.
We'll figure it out. And if push comes to shove, Lavina leans down to them. She goes, I still have one more teleport left in the bank. If push comes to shove, I'll just grab a handful of money and I'll get the fuck out. We're getting money no
That
matter
seems
what
like a
happens.
good plan.
Oh. How about we go in at separate times then?
All of us?
Yeah, it'll be easier.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking about stealing,
Well, that's if we have to. I'm not saying I want to steal. I'm saying if that it
But
is an option.
if you do, you'll incriminate all of us if we come in together. So we
That's fair.
should, to give ourselves the option, enter separately.
exactly.
Okay. Sounds like a
But we
plan.
still need a lot of people to surveil the place. I mean, this is a giant casino.
Yeah, it is a pretty big casino.
And we are small, so I mean, I can't cover a lot of ground. That's a massive building.
As long as we stay within, like, a handful of feet of one another, I'll be able to communicate with you guys mentally, and nobody else will be able to hear us, so we can move together as a unit. We'll just sweep across, like, the first floor. Stay in the same room if we can. At least that way we'll be together.
Sounds good.
We don't have to get through all of it today. We just have to find a good table and try and get some of our money back.
No, let's hit it big. Let's clean them out. Let's make a name tonight.
Let's leave a motherfucking legacy.
Let's get lit.
Shot.
Alright. So all of you going?
Yup.
But staggered. Important. We are staggered.
Okay. One by one, you go to the wolf spider's den, and you see that this is a large casino type of area. It works as both a tavern and a casino at the same time, and you see that it is large at a giant scale, but luckily enough, it seems like it has some accommodations to smaller sized folk. You see a lot more giants here than on the street, surprisingly, which is a little worrying, but nonetheless, there are also regular sized people. And you see a human behind the desk. He says, "Oh, welcome to the Wolf Spider's Den. How may I be of service to you?"
Hi, we are looking to gamble to hopefully win enough to stay here tonight.
Very well. Well, allow me to take you to the regular sized room so that way that you don't get accidentally trampled on by our giant guests. Now, just follow me. And the woman leads you to a different part of the building, which is like a building within a building. It's fucking weird. But needless to say, she opens the door and says, "There you go. Better size accommodations for you lots.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
We wish you luck." And you guys all go in one by one. There's a mixture of an equivalent of medieval slot machines. There's some card playing games. There's surprisingly some chess playing games as well. But there you see that there's three larger tables that are in the center of this casino, this regular sized casino, and you see that it is more like a racetrack type of deal, and it seems like a lot of people are grouping around that in comparison to everything else.
Dalvin's gonna head towards the crowd around the racetrack.
Okay,
See what's
Yeah.
going on.
sure.
I'm gonna try one of those chess games.
All right.
We have 1 gold, so
Oh, you're right. Yeah, so I guess I have to end up with the racetrack. Yeah.
Um,
I'll start looking at the chess games to build deniability, and then I'll head over to the racetrack.
Fair enough.
I'd like to keep my eyes to the ground to see if there's like a spare piece of gold or something that's like on the ground, like any kind of piece of money.
Sure. Make a perception check.
No, there's a lot of things going on. Somebody might drop a piece of money. You never know.
Yep. Who knows?
Oops, that's not right. There we go. Oh, 22. Let's go.
You do see by near one of the slot machines, wherever the coins will come out to dispense, you do see kind of like some loose coins underneath like the area. You are able to see about 5 gold pieces that are kind of just accidentally left there, like loose change.
Hell yeah.
So now you're 5 gold more richer.
Let's go. Let's go, boys. We got 6 gold to our name now. Yeah, Lavita's gonna. If the boys are looking at her, they just kind of see her like meandering around, like between like the slot machines and the tables, and every now and again you just see her like bend down and pocket something. And eventually she just kind of like circles around and makes her way back. She's like, "We got money, boys," and she's gonna drop 5 gold into whoever's hand.
Okay. Dallin,
Yes.
as you go into the center, and Tim, after scanning all the chess tables and coming back to the center to meet with Dallin, you see what the commotion's going all about. There is 3 tracks, and it seems like to be small mini race tracks, and it seems like there's 3 different creature races with 3 different types of creatures. There's one with just rats, one with just lizards, and one that is quite odd to say the least. It is the ones in the center is more like it's strange because this area is bigger than the rest, and it seems like that the decayed corpses that you've been fighting all this time are now a means of like racetracks. However, they're clearly from the rib cage up, if that makes sense. It's more like a game of 4 crawl is like going around, and it's quite odd to see.
I bet it is.
This is also pretty unpredictable to bet on, so Dalvin kind of walks away.
All right.
I've studied rats before. I think I can make a good pick on the rats. How are they looking health wise?
Make a perception check.
All right. Well,
Can I
I may
help?
be many things, but I
you want to
sure
help?
am.
Yeah, I have expertise in like healing knowledge, so like maybe like with Tim, like Lavina's like pointing out little things like that is an indicator of whatever the fuck.
Sure. So go ahead and roll with advantage.
I rolled a 3 and a 4.
They all look pretty healthy. I mean, they look different, but they seem healthy to you.
What are their names?
One is just called Glee, that just has GLE on it. The other, it's called Mick, MIK. There's one that calls Sneeze, and there is one that is called Ula, ULA.
Okay, and which one's the underdog?
Based on your previous check, you aren't too sure.
Oh, there's no like betting odds. It's all the same odds no matter who you bet on.
You see that like there's not a lot of people around this table in comparison to the center table, but the people are kind of like betting even across thus far.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put is it just a place or is it just who's first or are there side bets?
It's to place like the main bet is like who's gonna win the race, so that pays out. So like if you put one in, your guy wins, you get your one back plus another one. And then there's like specific ones like, oh hey, there's a side bet of like whether this will be like an easy win or like a long fought, win. There's also like predictions of like who's coming in other places on top of who's coming first, and if you get perfect on all 4, then you get your winnings times 4 back. It's that mainly like those are the main side bets going on.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll bet 1 on Glee.
Okay.
I like his odds.
All right, you bet 1 on Glee. What about?
That's the only. Yeah.
That's the only bet.
Yep.
What about the rest of you? What are the rest of you doing?
Oh no, Dalvin's gonna watch because Dalvin's kind of frustrated that Tim's making this bet right now.
Okay.
So he's kind of watching to see what the results are in this one.
Okay.
Does it look like there are any high rollers at this table?
Not really. It seems like regular common folk.
This is the small table, but this is what I know.
I mean, sometimes there are big rollers who dominate tiny tables just for the fuck of it. Some people like bullying the little guys. But you got
This is
time.
good, clean rat racing. You know what they say about the rat race. It's nice and wholesome, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay. So you're betting 1 gold on Glee.
I am.
All right.
Although I do think Ula's a bit of a dark horse in this one. I think she's one to watch out for.
All right. At this point, like the last call bets for the rat race are being called. Last chance to make any bets.
One last question. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Does it look like anybody's casting? Like, are there any coming in? Do I recall any rules that say like no spell casting? No, like I imagine it is against the rules.
There's no like rule board, and you weren't told what rules are allowed and aren't allowed.
Can I try to stealthily? I'm trying to remain separated from the group so we can't be like associated. But I'm gonna cast Whisper to Dalvin and be like, I have just enough energy to cast one mid-level spell. I can make Tim's rat potentially stronger and could win this race. But if we get caught, it could mean I don't know what.
Dalvin, do
And
you
she's gonna
respond
do
to
the
this?
same thing to Tim.
Okay.
She's gonna respond to both the boys, let them know. She's like, I can do this, but it could mean consequences.
And we respond back as part of the spell?
Yeah.
Yes. 25 words or less.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. Whether or not you do it, if I win, it's my money fair and square.
Our money, but
6 coins do not make up for how much we spent on your clothes.
All right.
Yeah, I guess I'm out of words.
Last call for bets. Last call for bets. All right. And I'm going to roll 4d20s to see who the winner is. So I've assigned each dice a specific characteristic. Oh, okay. You see Glee making a start strong, and then it's followed by Mick, and then Ula, and then what was the other one I wrote down? I don't even know what this third word is that I just wrote down. Sneeze, that's what it is. Sneeze. It looks like it's like Glee, Mick, Sneeze, and Ula. They're kind of lined up, and then Glee just stops in the middle of it for no apparent reason to smell something on the side. And then as it continues, it seems like Glee's taking the L. It looks like Glee could make it up, but for some reason, Sneeze just sneezes and gets this burst of energy and actually wins, beating y'all and minusing 1 less gold.
Oh shit. That rat's juicy.
Yeah, but at this point, the table says, all right, next round of bets for the next race.
Javin walks away semi-fuming, but he tries to like keep it in, like composed, but he is semi-fuming right now.
All right. All right, what do the rest of y'all do?
I'm finding a new table. This is BS.
All right. So again, there are slot machines, there is chess game, and then there is also like the other 2 tables, one with the lizard race and one with the weird zombie race.
I think I can do the chess game. Trust me, guys. This is foolproof.
Yeah, but what do you guys do?
I thought you said it was a card table.
Yeah, there's card tables too. I forgot to mention that. My apologies.
I'm gonna go check that one out.
All right. Seems like most of the card tables are basically the same game where It's basically everyone's gets a card, then the dealer gets a card, and then the next series of cards are revealed. And it seems like the whole game is to try to beat the dealer. And the odds are like 1-1, so if you put one, then you get one back plus the one you initially bet. And then there's another bet where if you beat the whole table in a single hand, you get a multiplier depending on how many players are playing. So like if there's like 3 players and you beat the dealer and the 3 players, and there's no more other people, then you get back 3 gold to 1.
That sounds risky too. I'm gonna observe for a moment.
It's only risky for large table sizes.
I'm gonna observe a couple rounds first.
Sure. You observe a couple rounds. It's a dealing of the deck, and everyone in the table is gifted a card to hide, and everyone's gifting a card to get. And the first card's revealed, and the second card is hidden, and then everyone just makes one bets or just bet their odds to see like how well they do. There's some raises and what have you. After one person raised, they look at the hand, they kind of justify it's not worth it. They toss their cards in along with the 1 gold that they bet, and then it's turns like that. And then there's a few other 2. So after this is a table of 5 players and a dealer, and after like 3 of them step out, there's just other 2, and then after everyone places the bet, the dealer flips his card. Everyone flips their cards, and then it turns out that the one player beats the dealer, but then the other player has the higher of the 2. So it seems like the bets are split, where like you get one bet with the dealer, and then the other one gets the majority bet because he beats everyone else. It seems. That folded. Excuse me.
Oh, what's the buy-in for this one?
1 gold.
All right, Davi's gonna take 1 gold and then buy in.
All right, go ahead and roll for me a d12.
D12, where are you? There you are. 1 D12?
Yeah, d12, we roll 12s.
7.
7, okay. You get a card number on 7s, and it specifically mentioned in the game that symbols do not matter. It matters about the hands, having the better hand size, or having matching pairs. You are getting a 7 card, and you see that the other players are giving each a hidden card along with the dealer. And now go ahead and roll another d12. Go ahead and now roll a d10.
7.
All right, you got a pair of 7s, and according to the game you've seen, like having pairs is good as long as your pair is higher than the others. But this one, the second card's exposed a bit, and you see that the other players. I'm just gonna roll some dice here. The dealer has a 4, and then the other 4 players. One has a ace, which is 1. One has a face card. The other has an 8. And another has a 10. So at this point, the dealer's like, all right, any wager bets that anyone wants to wager up? The guy with the face card ups the ante with 3 gold pieces added to it on top of the 1 gold. The other player folds. The other buys in. The other player buys in. Do you stay in it by putting in an additional 3 gold?
If I fold, I lose this gold, right?
Huh? Yep. If you fold, you lose the 1 gold you initially bet. Or you could add 3 in to risk it for a bigger pot. It seems like everyone but 1 player has dropped out.
Perception check on the guy who raised.
Are you trying to like incite him to see like
yes.
What's playing? Sure. Go ahead and make a charisma check then in that case.
13.
13. You could kind of tell with the face card he's kind of confident, but there's some unassurance behind his expression.
He looks back at Lavina because she's holding the rest of the gold. And kind of like casino around, just like, I think I got him.
Hey, keep your head in the game. One of the players yells out.
Yeah, Lavina's gonna quietly skirt the edges of the table, and she's gonna drop the 3 gold into his hand. She's like, and casts a message into his head. She goes, "You better get this, because then we only have what 2 gold left."
Oh, oh, no pressure. Dalvin does it.
Okay. All right. He says, "Alrighty then. In that case," and now I'm just gonna roll to see what the other players got. Okay. You see that the dealer clearly loses. He has 2 mismatches. He has a mid card and a low card, so he didn't do well. The guys closer to you have a pair of 6s, along with the other one having, mismatched cards. The guy with the face card is confident, saying, "Listen, Dwarf, I got a face card and I got a 9. Can't beat that. I have the highest 2 combination. Not unless you got some sort of a pair."
Dalvin kisses his cards and throws down the 2 sevens.
He goes, "Son of a bitch! God damn it!" And he says this. He says, "The dwarf wins overall, wins all of the coin, and gets an additional 4 gold pieces for beating everyone at the table clean. So you have a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 gold added to the pile, everyone."
22 gold total,
Nice.
boys. Let's go, Dalvin.
Dalvin sits there and soaks up that high and then leaves the table before he loses.
The dealer says, "A wise decision, dwarf. Better quit while you're ahead." And then the other guy who's pissed is like, "God damn it. I'm beaten by a fucking dwarf."
Hey, it happens.
All right, so you have 20 more gold than what you had last time. So what are you guys doing next?
Trying to see how much a room is because this is not hard to go.
We just got half our money back.
I mean, you could risk it for another hand.
Nah. We'll come back later if we
You
need
also
more
got
money. It's
slot
fine.
machines too, and some chests.
I want to try that chess.
Fair enough. We have money to spend, I guess.
Okay. You guys go to the chest area, and you see that there are some. It seems like to be some people who work at the casino. And you see that one of the tables, like, it is kind of like an equivalence to equals, but it seems like the casino people know a little bit more about some chess moves and who approaches the chess, like which player specifically.
I've played chess before against my old wizard teachers, so I think I can do this.
He says, "Very well. Well, you do have 3 options to choose from. You could either meet someone with your same skill, which is a 1, whatever you bet the casino bets as well. And if you win in the game of chess, then you win back your money plus whatever you bet. Or you could have a tougher opponent. You bet a little bit more than what you bet whatever you wish to bet, but the buy-in's a bit higher, but it'll match it times 2. And then the third one is our Grandmaster. He has never lost a game of chess since this casino opened. So therefore, his is the highest that you could bet, plus we'll times it by 3 of your total winnings. But he has never lost. Mechanically, as far as over the table is concerned, you can either... How these chess games works is that it's basically opposing intellect checks, best 2 out of 3 rounds to kind of indicate chess moves and what have you. The first round at the table will give you even. Both players will roll just straight rolls, no advantages or disadvantages or what have you. The second table will allow you, the player, to take disadvantage on the first one, and the other player will play normally as normal. Or you could attempt your luck by going up against the Grandmaster, who will roll with advantage against all your rolls.
I'll start with the first level, but I think I'm gonna do pretty good, so I'll probably try the second level.
You're gonna
after that.
Okay, so you're gonna try the first level of chess. Okay, how much you bet?
I'm just gonna start with 1 gold.
All right, you start with 1 gold. Now go ahead and just make a general intellect check. Again, it is 2 out of 3, and these are straight rolls. So here we go.
All right. 6.
I roll
That was a nat 1.
I roll 13, so that's one round loss. So, you haven't played in a while, so you're kind of a little bit sloppy initially. You're trying to do some basic moves that any chess player would, but then it is easily countered by someone who would practice a bit more than your normal person. Go ahead and make a second check. If you lose this one, then most likely you'll lose the game, but we'll see what happens. So make it into
22.
All right, I rolled an 8. You are now starting to remembering the game a bit more, and as you do, you are pulling some clever moves here and there, left or right, and it really comes down to this last bit when there's few pieces on the board. So go ahead and make a last intellect check.
12.
I rolled a 10. You
Yes.
are able to checkmate him, and you'll win your gold back along with 1 additional gold piece.
There we go. Now I want to challenge the next dude up.
All right. So again, this first check will have you be made at disadvantage for the first round because he is a little bit more clever and will have a better start than you would. So how much money do you bet? The minimum bet buy-in is 3 gold.
I'm gonna bet 3 gold. I have 4 now.
All right. So make your first round intellect checks. This first round for you is at disadvantage.
16.
With disadvantage?
The other one was a 19.
Nice. I rolled a 4.
I have a +5 to intellect.
So the chess player seems a little bit more cocky at the start, but then you started to pull up some clever moves that he didn't see coming, and now he's a little on edge from it. Second round of intellect checks.
Another 16.
I rolled a natural 1. So his cockiness got the better of him, and you are able to successfully checkmate him early, winning back your 3 gold along with an additional 6.
Okay. So now I have
So would you like to
10
try
gold.
so would you like to try the Grandmaster? The buy-in is 10 gold.
Calvin would take the money and run, so I'm gonna take the money and run.
He said, the Grandmaster that taunts you saying, "What's the matter? No one you're going to be beat, huh? Or would you like to make casino history?"
I don't have a place to sleep tonight if I lose this.
Well, it is the wolf spider's den. You could either walk away free and unscathed and 30 gold richer, or you could just run off and save your skin. It's up to you.
Davin goes to check how much a room is.
Okay. You go to check how much her room is, and she says, "Well, how many people?"
Four.
Well, for a room to accommodate 4 people, that would be roughly worth 20 gold pieces.
One day?
Of course, this is the wolf spider's den, my dear.
Oh, sorry, Lavina's not there. That is just Ness
Oh.
above the table saying for one day. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
this is casino we're talking about. So what do you guys do? Do you want to go against the grand champ? He'll have advantage on every single round, but you could win more money.
Dalvin already has 20 gold, so Dalvin pays for the room,
All right,
just in case.
fair enough. So you guys have guaranteed room. Congrats. You're already making it bigger than actual gambling players.
What do you guys think? Out of character, should I do it?
I mean, we have a room to stay. I mean, you would just lose the 10 gold you just got.
Exactly,
saying?
and then we would be flat broke.
Yeah, but then we could just come and gamble again. I could find more money on
With
the
what money to start? We're flat broke if we lose this. Like, all the money I won, went to the room.
It's up to you. What
No,
you
wait,
guys
don't
doing?
you still have money? Because you had 2 gold left, didn't you? Lavina? When you gave me the 3, how much did you have left over?
Yeah, 2. So we still technically have 2 gold.
Oh, I should definitely do it.
Do it. No risk, no glory,
All
my
right.
friend.
All right, I'll do it.
All right. I'll have advantage on all 3 rounds. I wish you luck. All right. Against the Grandmaster. Let's see what happens. First round.
10.
I rolled a 15. You are confident in making your moves. However, the Grandmaster is pulling some side moves that you didn't expect for a Grandmaster to do, but he is able to do it. And this catches you off guard and surprise. All right, round 2.
21.
21. All right, I rolled an 18. You surprised the Grandmaster a bit, countering with some moves that he isn't expecting. It's a match back and forth, and it seems like it's pretty even. It could be anyone's game. The Grandmaster's actually starting to sweat a bit, and multiple people are gathering around to see it. This is the first that anyone has gone past the Grandmaster. So this is the final roll. Let's see what happens.
You got it.
I
too.
rolled a 12, but I'm going to fate die that if it's
Oh, well, what's your total?
12 is the total.
Would you like the fate diet?
Yeah, is that a failure?
It would be
Yeah, then I'll fate die and I got a fucking 10.
10 plus what?
No, 5 plus 5 is 10.
Oof. Unfortunately, the Grandmaster is called the Grandmaster for a reason, and just when you think you have him on the ropes, he makes a couple moves to where he puts you in a corner and he checkmates you. He says, good game, sir, and don't put too much doubt on yourself. You come closer to beating me than anyone who has ever came across me.
It was a good match, sir.
All right, he obviously you're a handshake in good faith.
Yeah,
He does
I
so.
accept.
He takes your money afterwards. So, how much gold you guys got left now?
Just the 2 that Lavina has.
Just the 2
Yeah.
gold. You're back to 2 gold. You were
That's
close,
a
though.
lot.
You were close. All right. What do you guys do now?
We can just go to bed. Like, you don't need money in the mountains.
Exactly.
Would you guys like to
we have
try
a
the
place
slot
to
machine?
stay.
You haven't played a game, Lavina.
Yeah, but we don't have any fucking money, Tim.
We don't need money in the mountains.
Ah, Levia's gonna look at Dalvin. We'll have 1 gold left, but we could make a fucking a shit ton.
%99 of gamblers quit before they hit it big.
If you have a gambling problem, call the gambling
Terrible
hotline.
influence. Ah,
What you doing? Would you like to play a game, Lavina?
we don't need money in the mountains. I'll play 1 game.
Of?
The slot machine, I guess, if it costs 1
Hell
gold.
yeah.
Is it like the penny slots? Like,
You go up against the slot machine, and it's a mechanical machine. It's very weird. You've never seen a contraption like this. Definitely dwarves would make such a contraption such as this, along with some weird
Really?
rune magic that you've encountered earlier. And you see that there's a chart nearby it that has these runes with different symbols. So above table, how the game works is that you roll 3 6-sided die. If any of them match, the value of the total is times by the amount. So say like you roll 2 1s, it's 1 1. You have 2 of them, so you get 2 gold pieces on top of whatever bet you have. But there have to be matching. If you get 3, it's the total times 3. So
okay. Do the runes, like, just really quick, the description next to it, is it written in giant or is it written in common?
the runes are told in giant, common, and dwarvish. But basically, the whole gist of the game is that you need to match at least 2 runes. And then the number of runes that match reflect the value and how much coins you get.
Okay. Sorry, that's just Lavina trying to she is very interested in this rune magic.
Of course.
Very intriguing. Yeah, fuck it. So I gotta roll 3 d6s.
Yep, roll 3 d6s and hope they match.
1, 2. Oh wait, no. Okay, yeah, 2. Shit, 3. 2.
All right. You gain 4 gold pieces as it comes out from the bottom.
Let's go. We're back at 6, boys.
Okay, can we be done for the night? Can we just
Yes, we're
let's
not
end with that?
we're not flat broke. 6 gold can actually get us somewhere.
We got a net positive, guys.
You got a net positive.
We got clothes in the room.
Clothes in a room and a little bit more money to our names. Let's go.
All right. If you guys would have an achievement, you would get an achievement of playing and winning most of the games.
Yay!
Yeah, you guys exit out of the casino and you guys are escorted to your rooms. When you guys are escorted to your rooms, this is like luxury type rooms. No wonder the shit's 20 gold a night. It is full of luxury accommodating for 4 people. And there's like clean sheets. And like you have a selection of which sheets you have. There is a hot tub at the corner that overlooks the rest of the city. There is clearly a nice dining area. It's like having a large scale apartment in this one casino room.
I need a bath.
Yes,
Ain't that the motherfucking truth?
same. But also, this room is the nicest room since I've woken up from the cave. Like,
Janji's house was pretty nice.
we all couldn't fit in there.
Okay, well, it's not Beefy's fault. He was like 12 feet fucking tall.
He could fit in here.
He could have. Oh,
This is
Beefy.
the nicest room I've ever been in, period.
You hear a knock on the door.
Who the fuck?
Which door? Which size? Dalvin opens the dwarf size one. Hello?
Other door, and you hear a knock on the giant size door.
Dalvin starts climbing up to the door now.
By the time you get to the doorknob, the door just opens. And he goes, "Sorry for intruding, but as customary for the Wolf Spiders Tavern, I will be the one that'll be handling your services. Now, may I ask if you guys would like anything to drink or to eat?"
Included with the pay is it room and board?
"Yes, it is room and board. That's why it's 20 gold a night, madam."
Fucking go.
This person's like at least 15 feet tall, by the way. What foods and wines and or taps would you like to partake in?
I'd like the biggest steak you have and the biggest fish fillet you have. Do those up however you do best, ideally with a side of mushrooms and tubers. And then do you have Riesling?
Now, when you mean big, do you talk about big for your size or big as in big for their size? And he points to like the rest of your party, thinking that you are a giant.
Oh, big for my size.
Very well, it shall be done. And what about you, other folk?
Phew. Do you guys make pancakes?
Pancakes. Is it like making cakes on a pan? Or is it different?
I wanted cakes from a giant.
Giant size cakes or cakes
Hey,
made
yo.
from a giant?
Giant sized cakes.
Hope
Sorry.
I hope your stomach is able to fit all that food done. And what about you, madam?
Get something we could split. Get something we could split. Get something we could split.
Dalvin,
Get something we could split.
I am a vegetarian.
Get something we could split. Get something we could split.
Okay, God, we'll eat family style. Shit. I bet you this is all happening like in like a private like message conversation for some reason. Like they're just staring
But
hard
that
at
was
each
still
other.
bouncing. That was still bouncing.
Could I get? Do you have any vegetarian options? Anything just like big and hearty, but also still.
We do sell greens, but mainly they're of mushrooms and the like.
Mm. Do you have any like portobello mushrooms with like cheese and potatoes, maybe something like that? Just something real big and heavy with protein.
We do. Do you want it in the giant size, or do you wish to have it as your size?
Lena's gonna take a glance at the other two. Giant sized.
He goes,
Poor
he
Fifi.
says, very well. And then he gets Tangi's order, which is like a dessert have a deal, giant size, of course.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wait,
Before
but
he
that's what
goes,
the cake is for,
I do
Tangy.
want all the
That's-
dessert too.
No, that's what the cake is for. What are you talking about? That's what I had the cake
Oh.
for.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed the program.
He goes, very well. I will be back in several minutes. You enjoy yourselves at the Wolf Spider's Den then. And he closes the door and shakes the room a bit.
So,
Stopping heads for the hot tub.
would you like that giant size? Is basically their version
like
of
that
would you like
supersize?
super size?
Would you like that supersized? Yes. Oh my god.
Also, when you said when he said is that cake made from giant, he was asking if you're a cannibal.
Yeah, but
I figured that out.
yeah, you guys are just chilling in the room, apartment. What do y'all do?
Head to the hot tub.
All right, you head.
We gotta draw straws. I'll fight you for the hot tub, man. We gotta draw straws for first bath.
I have almost died protecting all of you guys. I can share a hot tub with you guys. It's
Oh
not.
yeah, how
for
big
me.
is it? How big is it? Yeah.
Why is
Big
it
enough,
weird?
big enough to fit multiple people in it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
then let's all climb in. Okay.
Hot tub party. Let's go, boys.
Yeah, you do.
We're gonna
so.
eat and dine in the lap of bubbly luxury.
You do so.
Oh yeah.
You spend some time in a hot tub. It's actually quite relaxing and quite refreshing. After several minutes have passed, you hear a large knock on the door once more.
Lavina
I'll put on a
will.
robe
Oh.
and answer.
You sure?
Yeah, wait,
Oh wait,
hold
no,
on.
no, I won't. I'll turn my
Yeah.
back.
That's why I
door.
asked. I'm like, wait a minute, you sure? Because you can do it. I don't care, but.
I do care.
All right.
Maybe Delvin.
Delvin goes to open the door with a towel on.
All right. You open the regular sized door where the knock is coming from. You do see a bunch of humans giving you guys some very large entrees. And when they open each one, they weren't kidding when it's meant for giant size. It is big as you, Dalvin. The most of the foods here.
Oh.
And like, well, we do hope you have the appetite and well, do enjoy your meal and also we brought in a cask of dwarven ale. We thought, since you have a dwarf and a giant here, that it would be customary to bring such a beverage to your room. Otherwise, we could replace it with some fine wine barrel or some regular ale if that is your taste.
No, this is perfect. Thank you.
Very well.
Delvin goes for a hug.
You give him a hug.
Yes.
They go, thank you. And they kind of gently push her up. Says, well, if you do need anything, just let us know. We'll be in the halls, walking around, doing our duties. Just stop us whenever you get a chance.
Thank you.
All right, they leave the room.
Delvin heads back to the hot tub.
Okay.
Food's here.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. You guys are chilling by the hot tubs. After some time's pass, you guys grab some meals to refurbish yourselves. And damn, these are like high quality, top notch meals. Definitely the best meals that you have ever had in your lives. And you're just enjoying the moments after taking a break from all of the despair, the darkness from the world, and just enjoying what it truly means to be alive. Gambling in a good way and in a healthy manner. And risking it for big wins and celebrating your big win. And you are taking in this moment as a time of reprieve. And the floor is yours to roleplay if you wish.
V5 would have enjoyed this.
I was gonna say the same thing. I think Kingsley and Ladle would have liked it too.
Ugh.
And then Lavina
Oh.
kind of pauses and looks at Tangy and Dalvin, then looks at Tim. Man, our numbers have dwindled, haven't they?
I wish I remembered.
Well, at least we don't. As long as we don't lose anyone else. And he looks at Tim. We should be all right.
And even if you don't remember Tim, we can always make new memories together. Like this, like hot tubs and steaks and mushrooms with cakes of giants.
Oh, yes. I think we already have made new memories together.
Lavina's gonna hold up a mug of ale. She goes, "To new adventures in making fresh memories. May the stars guide our paths."
I just hope we survive it.
We will. Fifi and Ladle and all of them, they're all watching over us. Kingsley.
You guys spend some time in the hot tub eating, really only grabbing like a quarter of most of the meals here because, they are giant sized. You guys replenish yourselves, get yourselves cleaned up, get ready to go to sleep till you hear a pattern knock on the door. And it's a weird pattern knock. It's like 3 knocks, 2 knock, 1 knock, and then 6 knocks in a row. He says, "Room service. I'm here to bring your bed warmers into the room."
I'm going to get dressed.
No, just.
No, I
hide.
need to cover myself. He knows I'm in here.
1
I'm not-
second! I'm naked! Lavina's gonna start throwing blankets over Tim.
Sure. Yeah, you've
Just lay there,
thrown
go
up.
to sleep.
Yeah. Who answers the door?
Dalvin does, but just in a towel again.
Yep. You open the door, and weirdly enough, through the regular human-sized door, you see a very handsome human male. This man, it has long hair, but in the ponytail, neatly cleaned up, and has a mustache, goatee, like strap combo type of facial hair. And the strangest thing, by all means, is that he has pants, he has shoes, but he doesn't have a shirt, and he has a 6-pack, and he's buff as hell. And he's bringing you, like, it seems like more pair of sheets. He says, "May I come in?"
Dalvin quietly does a buff check.
Yeah, he's for a human, he's quite strong.
Bub check.
Well, because ever since Dalvin got +5 in power, Dalvin just feels
Oh yeah.
like he can just flex all the time.
He says, "May I come in?"
Yes, you may.
All right. Yeah, Lavina, as soon as you finish putting the rest of the towels and bed sheets on top of Tim, you turn around and you see this handsome human.
Okay.
And he says, and for some reason, it goes from like this weird, fun type of tone to a weirdly more sinister tone. He says, "Great, now that we're out of public, I think now we can talk business, shall we?" And then, in a weird motion, he grabs the towel and he tosses it to cover himself a bit. And then the next thing you know, he just turns into a devil with wings. And that's where we'll end the session here tonight.
What?
Great. Who would we piss off now?
Well, guess you're going to find out next time. So we'll see what happens. Alrighty. So, hope you guys liked that session. no breaks this time around. Felt like it was more natural to go with the flow. And, well, we'll see you next time. For everyone who is celebrating Thanksgiving this time, happy Thanksgiving in the United States. And we hope to see you next time. See you later.
Good night.
Good night.